we're not yet convinced it's going to happen. There are some rumors and some mumblings about this. There's no doubt that China has had a serious misstep in the last 3, 4, 5 years. They've allowed the residential property market um, to essentially be captured by private enterprises that have been lying about profitability. They've got massive oversupply. They do have a bubble problem. They do have the need to now recapitalize many of the local governments. They have a need to recapitalize some of the banks that have lent to the property development companies. That is ongoing. And this is where our macro advisor, Doug McWilliams, came in, because he was asked his opinion on what they should do. If the Chinese leadership re-engages with the private sector in a more capitalist way, then this would serve to, we think, would serve to reignite the Hong Kong market. And I've plotted here the share prices of Swire Pacific, Hang Lung, Tung Kong Hutchison, and Hong Kong Land, which are some of the biggest landowners in Hong Kong. And you can see on a price to book basis, they are on multi-year lows. This chart goes back to 2013. They've always traded somewhat below book value because of the skepticism surrounding the optimistic valuations by management of these companies. There's been a degree of skepticism about the real value of the books. But they've tended to trade between 0.6 and 0.8 times book, and they're now approaching 0.4. So they've been derated to the tune of 100%. And this, to us, makes them look attractive. Some of these companies have got cash on the balance sheet, and so they're paying big dividends and able to pay big dividends. I was in Hong Kong recently, and for sure, there's plenty of empty office space. But to Darren's earlier point, people will want to socialize. People will want to go back to work. And at some point, if the Chinese decide to re-engage with the Western way of doing business and decide to re-engage with the private sector, these stocks will explode. And it's a very interesting conundrum for us, because I think as people who like to buy when others are selling, and we like to buy where stocks are underexplored and countries are written off, we think this is a particularly attractive opportunity. The timing may not quite be right, but when there's an announcement made that the US and China are going to jointly solve the Chinese housing crisis or whatever it is, then you won't be able to get in. And so sometime during next year, if you were to become clients of ours and invest in the trust, you might find yourself owning some very attractively priced Hong Kong companies such as Swire Pacific, and we're casting the slide rule over that company almost as we speak. We have the benefit of having a Hong Kong-based joint venture with which we manage our global strategies, and they're right all over the opportunity that is unfolding in front of us in Hong Kong.